Well, today our world is too complex, including in the car range where we have tons of electric cars, including BYD with the car called the Shark and also the Dolphin. And also you have Audi with the e-tron range and also VW with the ID range and also many more cars. But why is older cars better than newer cars? Well, today that's what I'll be talking about and also discussing what I think why older cars are better than newer cars. I'm Junior and you're watching Junior on Cars. Like I said, many people don't understand that, well, older cars and newer cars are way different. We cannot forget that newer cars have come with so much advanced technology to the point where some of the cars become so unbearable to drive, including systems such as lane assist and also night vision control and many more of this crazy advanced technology. But some of these cars have become so overdone with technology, including Tesla and also BYD, which is one of the best-selling electric companies of cars, apparently. The BYD is a Chinese company. If you're not aware, they make the car called the Dolphin and the Shark, which next thing they'll be calling their cars oxtails and also lions and sheeps and many more of names, such as Mercedes, who have decided to call every single car of theirs, which is the EQ range, the EQS, the EQB. Next thing we'll have the EQZ and the EQX as well, which is quite funny to see. And yes, VW is also doing the same thing with their ID, which is the ID3, the ID Buzz and all of that. Next thing they'll run out of names and also start calling it some stupid name as well. But we cannot forget the stupidity that most of these companies are doing, which is cutting off some of their cooler cars. Porsche has just announced that actually cutting off the 718 line, which is the Cayman GT4, not GT3. The GT4 and the GT4 RS and also the Cayman and the Boxster range will be soon going away from the market. And yes, VW will be soon doing the same. And yes, Porsche is also struggling to sell most of their electric cars, which is their Taycan range and the Macan EV as well. And VW are facing the same problem with their ID line, which is, well, technically the most boring line apparently. They also brought, well, it's more like a homage of the camper van, which was their answer to it with the ID Buzz, which is a full electric bus, or let me say van or whatever it's called, which is apparently a full electric van, which is supposed to bring a homage feeling to the old camper van, which many people don't agree with because they say it's slow, it is terrible to drive, and they say it doesn't even have enough space because obviously it's an electric car. Most of the batteries are sitting at the bottom, which does decrease the limitation of making it more of a camper van, to be specific. So most of the people don't actually like it that much. They just prefer the old Caravelle and also the Kumbi that actually VW still sell in South Africa, funny enough, and also the Transporter, which they also still sell in South Africa as well. And we cannot forget that these companies are the car companies that made legendary cars. Porsche made the 993 Turbo S, which is selling for a fortune. And we cannot forget about the Club Sport S as well, which is Porsche's 993. I would say it's more of a homologation car because, well, Porsche had to make a few sort of road-going cars of their race car based on their race car to actually verify the car to make sure that it's being able to race in whatever race it has to be done. So Porsche said, we're going to make some cool cars. Not only did they make a Turbo S version, but they also made a 911 GT. And also, we cannot forget that they made the legendary Club Sport 993, which is one of the rarest cars that you can get, which is a fully stripped out 993 with no seats at the back, roll cage, and a lightweight chassis. So it's lightweight door panels and everything else, because that is a proper, I would say, homologation car of their race car. It had no power steering, to be specific. It was hard to drive to many people, and it was noisy because there was no sound deadening compared to their Turbo S and their Carrera S version, which had more sound deadening and had an automatic transmission. But the Club Sport had a manual version, and also so as we cannot forget the 993 911 GT, which also came in a manual or automatic as well. But most people preferred the automatic. The manual ones are super rare. In fact, people like me would actually swap the automatic for a 5-speed manual, which you can do because the engine, some of the models in the 993 range actually do accommodate the 993 911 GT transmission and also the engine as well. And also we cannot forget that these cars were the legendary cars. We cannot forget that VW also made the legendary Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 and Mark 4 Golf GTI lineup. Not only did you get them in a 4-door, but you also got them in a 3-door, which is including the boot door as well. So these cars are the legendary cars that paved the way for the manufacturers. And we cannot forget that VW made Hitler's favorite car, which is the VW Beetle, which was one of the best selling cars apparently in the early 90s, which is insane because, to be fair, the VW Beetle is one cool car. I mean, as much as many people might hate it because it's slow and it's noisy, but to be fair, that's the character of it. It is actually having a load of character because not only is it slow, not only is it loud, but also it is what you're supposed to drive, or it is what you are expecting the 90s to be. Most of the cars in the 90s weren't actually quiet as you get in today's cars. Some of them were so loud, including the Fiat 129P and many 124P and many more cars as well. We cannot forget some of these models are absolutely cool as well. So we can also forget that also there are cars that really did define the 90s. The 964, we cannot forget about that. The 911 G body, the 912 as well. They are cars that actually paved the way for many Porsches of today. The 964 is one of the most underrated cars. Yes, when I mean underrated, I don't mean you people cutting them up and making RWB kits for them. I'm meaning like people doing proper modifications to them, stroking the engines higher, changing the transmission, because most people bought 964s apparently bought automatics, which is quite sad because manual transmissions in the 90s were better for Porsches, but many people do swap them for manual 5 speeds. And also we cannot forget that the 964 was an agile, cool looking thing. You could put a whale tail on it. Some people put wings on them because that's what I would do as well. And some people just prefer RWB kit because RWB kits look nice on 993s and also 964s, but some of them are too overdone. We cannot forget about that. And we cannot forget that RWB also did step up and also make some 911 G body models, which are so rare to get because many people jumping on the 964 and also the 993 made the G body RWB range very quite sad to be under the radar. And we cannot also forget that there is only one existing 912 RWB, which is in America, which is absolutely very nice and also very rare. And also I like that the owner is still keeping it the way that it was done. He didn't do too crazy stuff or whatever. He just made it look absolutely nice, especially in that nice God's green. It's so nice, or whatever color that Porsche calls their cars. Apparently there's weird names to them. I didn't even address that one, which is insane. But we cannot also forget that BMW was one of the kings when it came to cool cars. We cannot forget the E30, the E36, and also the E46, the E21, and many more, including some of their cooler models, which is the 750iL, which is one of the coolest limousines. That car brought so much status. If you drove that thing in Edinburgh or Gloucestershire or in London, you were as cool as Prince Charles is today. That was the king of the limousine. And we cannot forget that the 750iL came with a V12 engine. Now that is status. It came with adjustable seats and cup holders and all those cool things that you didn't get in the 90s that was rare. So some of these cars, they brought so much status. And we cannot forget that the E32 and the E35, which is the 5 Series, the cool car that was also in many films, including the Transporter. So some of these cars did hold a huge status as well. And to be specific, most of them are going for dirt cheap prices. Well, not the E30 M3, because the prices that it's going for, yeah, you might have to empty your whole savings, so is your pension funds as well, if you want to accumulate one. And we cannot forget that the E36 M3 is so underrated, especially the two-door one. Many people go for the four-door, but I think the two-door one is perfect because you can strip out the seats and put some bucket seats in, and then strip out the steering wheel, because to be fair, the steering wheel is worth as much as the car, to be specific. M Sport steering wheels and M Sport rims are so expensive nowadays that people just end up just stealing some of them, to be specific. They don't steal the car, they steal the parts of the car. And we cannot forget that the E36 and the E46 M3s are so underrated. Many people don't drive them standard anymore, they just do swaps and all those stuff. But if you drive them standard, tune the engine. When I mean tune, I don't mean put a turbo. I mean stroke the engine, put a nice induction kit on it, nice exhaust, strip out the seats, strip out whatever heavy thing that you can find in the car. Make it light as possible. Right there, you have a good track car. And we cannot forget that BMW was one of the craziest companies to actually make an E35 a super tour, which is many people don't know. He stripped out E35 5 Series with no back seats, no original front seats, no original dashboard, including no steering wheel, which is original. So is the transmission to make it more lighter and better to drive. You cannot forget these companies paved the way for most of their models, which are not selling as much as they are today, which is quite sad. And to be specific, if you want a car that is easier to modify, you gotta buy a 90s car. Civics EG6, best car to modify. Golf Mark 7, one of the coolest cars to actually modify if you don't overdo it. And also, we cannot forget the legendary Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, and Mark 4 Golfs, which, yes, hold on, Mark 1, Mark 2s are quite expensive to buy, to be specific. I have seen the market for them, and yeah, they're not looking so good with prices. But if you want one that is easier and cheaper to buy a Mark 6, buy a Mark 5, buy a Mark 4. They are cool. And we cannot also forget that the Mark 4 GTI is so underrated, to be specific. They are so underrated because, well, VW decided to bring out the R32, which had a VR6 engine, which is one of the best sounding engines that you could ever get, and one of the coolest cars because it came in a 3-door, which includes the door boot as well, and came in a manual transmission, which is super nice as well. But if you want a legendary car, you have to buy a 993 1964 or a 911 G body. And also, you also gotta buy some of the coolest cars, which is the M3 as well. M3 E30 is one of the coolest cars. But if you want something that is in your budget range, look at the Honda, look at the Toyota Corolla. They are actually cool. But the M3 E30, yeah, that one is a bit too insane with the prices. But don't get angry yet. The E30 models, you can actually get the 325 IS if you can find one in a very good condition, or a 320 IS, or even a 318 or 316, which are actually cool. You can get a sedan or a 2-door and put some nice coilovers in it, lower it a little bit, put some BBS rims on it, or you can run some rotary forms or whatever to make it look absolutely nice. And the best part about older cars, the fitment was insane. Today's cars, I just feel like some companies don't give a shit about fitment, but most older cars have the best fitment. The M3, flush M3 fitment as well, E36, E46 as well, which is very cool. But if I would choose between older cars and newer cars, older cars will always be the best to have fun in. Not only are they easier to enjoy and also be easy to strip, but also one of the coolest cars that you can ever purchase in your life. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like, comment, subscribe. If you want to watch more videos of mine, click onto the main channel to go and watch more videos of mine. And if you want to learn more, keep on my channel, I suggest you go follow the channel's Instagram page, which is at Juno on Cars, so as the channel's TikTok page at Juno on Cars as well. And more car content coming soon, as well as reviews. So bye.